don't buy it. They will remove the head, then they'll pass through that hole to inject something inside the African star apple. Then when you buy it, it will be very sweet. Then you think you bought something natural. Reason why people are getting sick every day. See what these boys are injecting into this.
In the year 1982, on a very beautiful day like this, James Wilson and George Curley introduced an idea that is simple but also very powerful. And they were talking about small signs of neglect left undressed, and how those neglect change how people behave and how a place feels. And the theory uses a plain image. It's called a broken window theory. It goes like this. If a window is cracked and nobody fixes that window, passerby assumes no one cares about the building and no one is watching. And then the assumption spreads and more window in that particular house gets broken. People follow the rules, people follow the rules and even avoid the area. And that place becomes more inviting to serious crimes. Meaning that when a window of a house gets broken and is not quickly fixed or repaired, people assume that no one cares about that house. So what begins like a minor neglect can over time erode the informal control and keep a community orderly. So the basic logic here, the domino effect here is that small failures leads to larger breakdowns. It's a very usual way to understand many threats to the human society that we live in today, including the idea that human beings could bring back their own downfall. I mean, I've always been of the opinion that the end of the world is not going to be by one unprecedented action. No, human beings are going to be the end of the world themselves. And usually, when we imagine apocalypse, we picture earthquakes, floods, hurricane, and co. No. But the collapse doesn't need to arrive as a single dramatic event. It can be the cumulative effect of corruption, of greed, of ego, and pride. Because when leaders and institutions tolerate minor ethical lapses, when people normalize deception, cheating, and environmental harm, those small choices change expectation. Trust fades, cooperation weakens, and systems begin to fail. So the domino effects are social and moral, not ideological. So I want us to consider how a series of small corrupt acts can corrupt an entire system. And when that happens, the rules weaken. And when that happens, the critical functions suffer. The market fails, public service degrade. So these things are very important for us to think about while looking at this image up here. Growing up, these are the things that we use these things helps us to enjoy our childhood. Yoruba people call it agbalumo. I think that they call it African star. These are fruits that naturally people just enjoy and have fun with. And you can see how degrading our community has become. They are now injecting agbalumo, the African star, to make it sweet or what? Injecting. Africa is so blessed. Our soil is so fertile and rich. We don't have to have the GMOs and the injection of our fruit. No, our land brings out these things effortlessly. So the image, the video of someone harming natural thing illustrates the moral decline in vivid terms. Because when you treat a cherished fruit or a traditional practice with disrespect, so it's not the fruit itself that matters. It is what such action reveal about the values and boundaries of the people. And I always say, we have continuously proven the West right, that we have become a people of particular concern. So what is happening in this video is an implication, an indication to bigger things, and an implication of our moral failure as a people. So what stopped the slide? The same logic of the broken window theory answers it. It said we should address small things early. We should repair the first window and enforce modest rules consistently. We should foster accountability. Many of our leaders are not accountable to anybody. No, they don't fear anybody. No humility, no respect for shared spaces, And our leaders must model restraint rather than ego. Many of them are so egoistic, so narcissistic. Pride. They promote systems that reward long-term stewardship. So we need to build a community that practices a more ethical behavior, visible and expected. And the point is very straightforward. Human-made collapse is less likely to arrive as an irreversible natural force. So if we pay attention to those choices and act to mend what's broken, when it is small, we have a chance to prevent a larger breakdown that follows. That's just the truth. When we make it intentional to prevent those small lapses, we have a chances of preventing larger breakdown. Can you see that evil there? Injecting a fruit to make, what is your end goal? And that's why people get sick. They just die. They don't even know the reason because they've been injecting multiple things in their body system. And you are comfortably making money out of people's misery. That's how dehumanizing and degrading we have become as a people. That's how bad it has become in our community. That we now prioritize material gain over the sanctity of human life. And when the community gets to a level where human life has become more like a fly, more like a dust bean, there's a problem. A community that values no human dignity is gradually going into extinction. There are some things that we must not joke with. And I will say again, the end of the world is not going to be by some sporadic, unusual, or enigmatic, unprecedented earthquake. No. Human beings still moving this way are going to be the end of their own world. May God help us. And shalom.